There's nothing like motivation to get you to go do something different. Been meaning to work on this trailer anyway. Time to get it done. Well, back at it again here on another project. There's always a lot of things happening. The other day, I was driving along, and we live out in the country a little bit, so we have a narrow 2-lane asphalt road. Approached someone who was coming the opposite direction. I move over to the side of the road. Right tires on the minivan, my wife's minivan, left the road. Wasn't a terrible, wasn't a big drop off or anything like that, but I heard something weird, and I thought, well, that didn't sound quite right, but I went on anyway. First mistake. And then I was coming back on the return trip, which happened shortly thereafter, and I noticed this. So this was laying in the road, and this is the pan, the cover underneath the van that keeps debris from going up in the engine compartment. You can see, you know, the asphalt did some damage there, and that was not just one time. That was broken before. It has taken some abuse multiple times on curbs and everything else. So this pan takes a lot of abuse. So what I'm doing now is I retrieved it. It's still okay. It's not great. I need to do a little work on this. But I'm using my plastic welder system here, and I am stitching this back up. So we're going to see how this works, and we'll put it back together. I'll stitch this really thin area, and it is awfully thin. And we'll see if it'll hold together. And if it doesn't, well, it doesn't, I suppose. That's all we can say. But I'm going to stitch it up, and we'll see what happens here. And I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. Oh, I almost forgot to say, this is my actual welding gun. I think I got this on, I know I got it on Amazon. $20-something maybe. I don't remember exactly how much. It comes with, here's what it says. Well, here's what it is. I'm actually not going to MIG or TIG or plasma or whatever with this, but it does come with some plastic rods. It comes with some screen. It comes with sandpaper. It comes with this tape. I'm not sure what this does. It comes with a box knife. It comes with this iron here with another tip. It comes with a screwdriver. It comes with pliers. There's side cutters, as I said. It's pretty cool. Pretty nice setup there. And it comes with this case. So that's what it is. I don't remember exactly what it is. I'll try to put the link in the video. Well, this is the finished job from the back side. Doesn't look great, but it didn't look great before. I can't expect it to be very good, but it is what it is. And certainly stronger than it was, so plastic welding for the win. We're going to put it back on the van, and we'll see how long it lasts this time. Wish me luck. An air filter is an air filter, right? I don't know. One of these looks much better than the other. What do you think? Well, it's one of those days, got a lot of stuff happening, but I want to show you this. It's my wife's tires on her van. She has a Honda Odyssey. And the wear indicators are, you probably can't see it, but the wear indicators are right there. These have been good tires. We've had them about 8 years, I guess. Now this van is pure and simple. Clear coat's fading. It is just, we abuse it. We wear it out. It's not super nice. I mean, it's a good van. It does great. We've had good luck with the Hondas. But I had to order some tires for it, so got those on the way, and we'll see what we get with them. Today is the day. New tires, and we got them here on yesterday, or this morning actually. FedEx brought them in, so we got some new hand-cooked tires. These are the exact tires, the exact model of tire that's on the van right now. And I got a really good deal from Priority Tire. No affiliation at all, but Priority Tire gave me a really good deal on these. Because of a hand-cooked special. Hand-cooked had at this time $200 off for a set of 4. So I got them for about $100 a piece. And I can't complain about that. That's cheaper than I got the other set 8 years ago. So I'll put these on probably tomorrow. So I'll bring you along for the new tire installation. I knew when I replaced the TPMS sensors last fall that these tires are going to have to be replaced. So we just tried to milk them for as long as we could. But they're down to the point where the indicators are level with the tread, and it's getting a little sketchy to drive in wet weather. So we're going to put these on. I will record that, and we'll share that with you. Just another day here in Doc's life. Well, I don't know if this happens to you, but for me, every time I'm working on something else comes up to blow up my plans. I was going to work on putting a new set of tires on this van, my wife's minivan, but no, not today, because my wife and daughter broke down in my daughter's Jeep, which I've talked about on this channel. Something going on with the transmission. Sounds like they might have blown a cooler line. Lost their fluid. Dead, not in the water, because they weren't in the water, thank goodness, but they're dead in a parking lot. And so I've grabbed some tools and just a standard things to take along with you to figure out. I got to do some diagnosis, a little triage here, and from there I'll kind of show you what I can, understanding that this is a heck of a hot day. I don't even know how hot it is. It must be 90 or so. And my number one priority is going to be getting the Jeep together and back home. But I'll probably try to show you a little bit of this and let you kind of see the frustration that comes. I'm not even going to say frustration. I'm not going to set myself up for that. I'll let you see the realities of what happens when you got people you care about, and they know that you can help take care of them. They call you to bail them out. And that's a cool thing. It's a cool thing when people have the faith in you that you will come and make a good call and you can help them out of a tough situation. So my wife and daughter have faith in me and confidence, and I suppose I should be thankful that I have that type of relationship with my family, and that they believe that I can get something done. My son came to get me because my son lives close, right next door, and he said, "Hey, mom calls, and you were just talking about this the other day, so I hate to have to do this to you, but the Jeep broke down and they need you to come figure out what's going on." I was just talking about it, but like I say, it's cool that they have the faith in me. It's good that I can actually do what I need to do to help them sort it out, and I'm headed that way now. We're going to find out what's going on with it. We'll see what happens. It's another day in Doc's life. Well, here's the status. It looks like oil everywhere, something up here is leaking. Oil everywhere. No oil on the dipstick, no transmission fluid on the dipstick, so something's leaking somewhere. Gotta find that. Alright, status update. Not good. It's dripping oil like crazy, but I've got it on my trailer. Here's what it did in 30 seconds of running. Right up onto the trailer. That's a little bit off center, and my trailer needs a lot of work. Look at that oil on the back. All right, so it's a little off center, but I was in a hurry. I wanted to get it loaded. Dripped all that. So yeah, got a problem. I'm gonna strap it down, get it home and get it offloaded. We'll see what's going on with it here. sprung a leak somewhere. Well, I made it home with the Jeep. Backed it off the trailer, and yeah, we still got an oil leak. I got to get up under there, figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, there's nothing like motivation to get you to go do something different. Been meaning to work on this trailer anyway. Time to get it done. This is just regular yellow pine, southern yellow pine, knots and all. I'm gonna treat this with some used engine oil, and that's what's gonna be replacing the wood that's on here. We'll see how it goes. I'll update you as I move along. I think I've heard the quote, "The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray." Yeah, I was working on my trailer today to try to put the new floor in. Here's where we are. I was working on the trailer. I got about half of it stripped down, the back here stripped down, cleaned up, a little bit of paint applied, and I oiled up my boards. So those pine 2x8s are saturated in motor oil. Now, I understand that those are probably not going to last terribly long. A couple $100 though, and not very much time. And I'm going to give them a try. We're going to see what happens. I know that those boards, whatever they were, didn't last very long at all. So I got to get that done. But this is the current status. You can see the water dripping off there. You can hear the rain. Took a quick supper break, and bam! 15 minutes into my supper break, here comes the rain. So I had to hustle and get all my equipment put away. And there we are. Here comes the rain again. It's been the rainiest summer I can ever recall. Shedding water like crazy. I like it. And I can keep those maintained with a little bit of motor oil every couple times a year probably. I got plenty. Every board on the thing is rotten. You can see the end of this one. But most are worse than that. They're falling through. I got that board as a reinforcement because I had to pull a tractor on there, a car on there, and it's all rotted under there. I'll show you one of those when I pull it off. At any rate, took a supper break, went in the house. 15 minutes later, I'm back outside putting away my equipment. I had my old Dallas Chalmers out moving this trailer around and doing some things. Had to put that away. I've never seen a mid-August with the grass looking like that. Beautiful. This is more like April or May type of conditions, even though it's August. And yeah, that's where we are. Best laid plans. Kind of the way it works. Now, this is what's kind of funny. Blue sky. Raining like crazy. Now it's blue sky. So I don't know. You tell me. I may be able to work on this a little bit more later this evening. I got a ton of work to do on this shop. My poor old shop is 22 years old, and I need to put some new screws up there, fix a couple of spots where it's leaking. That's going to be a bear, and I'm trying to wait till it's not quite so hot. Well, it's another day in Doc's life, and what I'm going to try to do is to do more of the daily vlog. I've been trying to do videos that are just based on a project, and I still hope to do some of that, but it's really hard. So what I really think I need to do is just kind of record the day, because I move from project to project throughout the day. Don't always get them done. In fact, normally don't get them done that day. So if I'm going to have content, I'm going to have to do it differently. And what I'm trying to do is just to kind of record a day in my life. You know, it's a Doc's life. It's about the things I like and the things that I do on any given day. So yesterday I was working on my car trailer. I kind of had that back there. And today I'm going to go back to it. Let me show you. So yesterday I was working on it. It started raining. I didn't get all the decking off the old deck. Got to work on that today. So I'm going to pull the rest of this old deck off. It stops right there. This is the last piece. You can see how rotten it is. It is shot. So that's going to come off. I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to put a coat of paint over the railings, over the ribs, and I'm going to put these boards down. Now I've got to cut these boards off. You can see how short those are. They come right to the edge of this rail right here. These are longer, so they're going to have to be cut off about an inch or so, it looks like. I'm going to clean up this area back here. I'll have to cut up I'll have to cut up 2-foot boards to fit in there. Straighten out my metal top plate there that covers that transition. Drill the holes and get these new ones in place. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do. But wow, look at that. That shed that water pretty well. I'm going to put probably at least one more coat of oil on the top. But looks pretty good so far. What I don't like is that this runs all the way across. And it's at this level. You can see that this is sitting flush. This is at least 1/4 of an inch higher because it's sitting on top of this this angle, which sits on top of that. So it can't sit at the same level at all. And that's just not acceptable to me. So I'm gonna have to come in here and I'm gonna have to do some trimming on this. I gotta figure out a process, set it up so that I can notch this out and have it sit as flush as this when I'm done. Which also means I'm gonna have to recoat the area that I've cut on the ends and as I notch that out. So I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out, get this cleaned up, get it painted, lay all my boards out, make sure I got everything in place. I've got them assorted the way I want so that, because you know, there's slight imperfections. I want to have them assorted that way that I may have to move some around to get the right spacing. I want there to be just a little bit of spacing in between so that we have some water, the ability for some water to drain. This one didn't really have any spacing in between, and it didn't help it at all. I want just a little space between, and that way it can drain. You can see here how far off that is. See, I can put my finger up under there. That's not what I want at all, and I'm not going to do that. I suppose a person could cut one. You could rip it and put it up through here, this on this side, and then cut another piece that went over here and cut it shorter. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what I want to do. I really don't want to do it ripping like that. Like I said, it's just kind of the little things you run into as you start to do a project. And I'm never happy with anything that I do, so I'm always looking to try to make things better. Normally, that means a lot more work. Because if you halfway do things, you can do them very quickly. But I don't like halfway doing things. So we'll see what we come up with. I'll show you as I advance in this quest, I suppose. Stick around. It's a Doc's life. Well, it's another day in Doc's life here. Finished up my trailer yesterday, actually. Yesterday? Day before yesterday. So I've had it sitting here. You can see that my sideboards are level. I notched those out, clearanced them, I guess. I left some space between for some water to drain. I've coated at least 2 full coats of oil, and it's still soaking it up, but I'm going to keep throwing it on there. I use, got the Red Baron up there practicing some aeronautics this morning. Sure you hear that. I think that's a doctor in town, and he comes out here, and that's his stress relief, I think. At any rate, got everything cut up here. Everything looks good. Some knots, some spots in there that are no good, but I can replace that easily enough. I think I've got at least one more piece of the 2-foot sections. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not normally happy with anything that I do, but I'm pretty happy with that floor. Looks good. And we'll see how long it lasts. The last floor, the other floor that was in it from the factory, really lasted about 6 years. I guess right now would be 8 years that it was in there, but the last couple of years it's been really tough. So started having holes and bad spots and things like that. So if I get 5 or 6 years, it's no worse than what I had before. And this was about $200 in lumber. Bought some of those screws on Amazon. Here he is. I think he's headed back somewhere. It was a very short-lived practice. So I bought the screws on Amazon for, I don't know, not very much. And there we go. Looks good, I think. I think it'll be fine. And if it's not fine, I can fix it again. But a couple $100, and it took me more time this time because I was kind of learning the process. Next time I could probably pull this apart, put new boards down and have it ready to go in less than a day. I did paint underneath there. I cleaned the rust off. I painted underneath the wood. I painted the side rails up, and yeah, just putting a coat of paint. It's nothing. It's not a Concours restoration, but that's okay. I don't want Concours restoration. I just want something that looks pretty good, is relatively protected. I really want to cut those fenders off and make them removable, because to load a car on here is a pain. The door will not open typically on with the fenders being set so high. So I need to lower those fenders down. I need to make them removable. So that's a project for later. I had meant to do that when I rebuilt the trailer, and of course the quest for perfection means that you never get things done. So perfection is the enemy of delivery, and I've learned that over the years. The quest for perfection is not helpful. So you want to be perfect, but you've got to have progress. And so today, feel good about this one. I actually use a roller, paint roller dipped in oil. I just roll it right on, and I put it on there heavy, and just let it dry, let it soak in. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, another thing that I'm doing is working on my daughter's Jeep, because that's kind of what triggered the repair on this, is that I had to tow her Jeep home, and I had to put it on the trailer. And I realized that the trailer was just going to not be worth much for hauling anything if I didn't do something quickly. Pulled her Jeep home, wondering what the problem was with the transmission. I'll try to show you what that is. I think it's time to kind of wrap things up for this edition of It's a Doc's Life. I was glad to get the trailer done, but I need to get something posted. As I said, perfection is the enemy of delivery, and I'm running a little bit longer. Got a lot more to add on the Jeep repair. So trailer's done. At least the deck is down. I need to do some more painting on it, and I'll get to that and maybe show a little update there. The Jeep itself is going to be a little bit more complex. I've got some things coming up in the next video talking about what I found and what had to be repaired on the Jeep. I'm not a channel that's going to do a very focused type of content, and that's not good for YouTube. You want to have an extreme focus and get people to tune in, but this is not going to be a channel where I focus on a particular type of content. I'm going to show everything I do, and the good, the bad, the foibles, that type of thing. It's going to have cars, it's going to have trucks, it's going to have engine rebuilds, it's going to have all kinds of things to do with tractors and all that, but it's going to also show just everyday chores like this type of thing. Hope you like it, and if so, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Coming up next video, the Jeep Wrangler transmission surprise that I found, and the work that I had to do to get it fixed. So again, thanks for tuning in to It's a Doc's Life. Endeavor to persevere.